Hey guys, welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest podcast and channel. If you have not subscribed yet, please do go ahead and subscribe whatever platform you're listening to this on. And if you are on YouTube, go ahead and hit that like button. It's like walking into the room and hitting that light switch. We just want to go ahead and brighten up the place, and let's get into this podversation. This is a sad story, not because of the outcome in terms of what has happened to this guy, but because of what brought him here. So if you guys are familiar with the show Sweetie Pies that used to come on the OWN network, I used to watch it back in the day. I really did like the show. I really did. Unfortunate things happened over the years. You just started to see a rift between TIMNORMAN, the son of the creator of Sweetie Pies restaurants, Robbie, and how he was just really kind of taking over and doing things that his mom wasn't approving of, making decisions financially for the business. And I felt back then that there were some nefarious things going on, but I felt like eventually it was going to come out. I haven't really talked about this story at all on my platform. I've just been following the news and seeing what was going on. And the story is that TIMNORMAN was sentenced to life in prison. He was convicted last year of the masterminding of the taking out of his nephew, who was also on the show Sweetie Pie. So that's why this has just been a really tragic story, because I saw this young man on this show and I don't know, I didn't really feel like he ever really liked the young man. That's just what I picked up from it. But again, sometimes perception is reality. And I was right, you know, but he was convicted of masterminding the taking out of his nephew to collect on a $450,000 life insurance policy to pay off his IRS debt. I mean, file for bankruptcy. Like, why? Oh my God. Why take out your family member to pay the IRS? Like, do you think the IRS cares about you? I'm just like, this is crazy. So the jury convicted him on 2 counts of M for hire, you know what the M stands for, and 1 count of conspiracy to commit wire and mail fraud. So he's the last of 4 people to be sentenced in the case. The hitman, Travell Anthony Hill, 31, he pleaded guilty in 2022 in June to conspiring with Norman to take out Andre Montgomery on March 14th, 2016. He testified in court that he accepted $5,000 for his role in the M for Hire plot to take out Montgomery. Former stripper Terica Ellis pleaded guilty to accepting $10,000 cash to lure Montgomery to his demise. She was sentenced to 3 years in prison. And Norman's insurance agent, Wael Yagnam, pled guilty in 2022 to 1 count of conspiracy to commit wire and mail fraud, and he was sentenced to 3 years in prison. And so TIMNORMAN, again, the son of Robbie, who founded the Sweetie Pies restaurants in St. Louis, Missouri, and also they were blessed to be able to have a reality show for many years on the Oprah Winfrey Network called Welcome to Sweetie Pies. So she wanted the judge to give him leniency. She wanted to have him have another chance on the outside. And unfortunately, I feel that in this situation, TIMNORMAN got life, but I believe that Robbie also got life. Because the fact that she loved her grandson, and I get it, you love your son too. I would never tell a parent, even if their child did something so egregious like that, that they could not love their child again. You can't tell a parent that they shouldn't love their child, period. That's just never, for most parents, going to go away, no matter how terrible, choices and bad decisions that their children have made, okay? But when it comes to this situation, he has some sort of tie on Robbie, because I feel like even though that's her son, and yeah, I also feel like in some ways that was also like her man. And listen, I'm not saying that she and he were doing anything at all physical. I'm definitely not insinuating that. But there are some mothers, especially single mothers, that have sons that get so attached to their sons, they almost want to treat the sons like it's their boyfriend. And I'm not saying it's a vice versa thing. I believe it's called, I can't remember what the complex is called. I know when it's the vice versa, when the son feels like the mom is like their woman, it's the Oedipus complex. But I don't know if it's the same for vice versa. It may be a different name. You guys can let me know in the comment section below. But the fact that she's pleading for leniency, or pled for leniency for his son, because the judge wasn't hearing it, they gave him what he got. It's unfortunate, but it is definitely done. He's got life, and rightfully so, even though he was not the one that pulled the trigger. And he was already a convicted felon, so he already had that against him. And just all of the things that have happened, he became very arrogant. It's sad because he has a young son that he had with his former fiance, Janae. They were on the show. They were engaged. She was wise enough to get out of that relationship and move on with her life. But, you know, she has a son with a man who's now a life felon. And it's sad.
This is 5 on your side at noon. Focused on you.
We begin with breaking news at noon. Within the last 45 minutes, we learned former Sweetie Pies TV star Tim Norman will spend the rest of his life in prison. He's the man convicted of masterminding the death of his nephew, Andre Montgomery Jr., in 2016. Today, a judge sentenced him for conspiracy to commit murder for hire resulting in death, and mail fraud. He got life sentences for the first 2 counts and 240 months in prison for the third.
So you guys heard that, but it's crazy because with him standing there with the mugshot that he had when he was initially arrested for that exact crime, he had a big Kool-Aid smile on his face, you know, and he knew what he was being arrested for. It wasn't like he thought that they were bringing him into a party or something like that. He was smiling, and now this is his fate, the rest of his life behind bars. But you know what? The family of the young man, his nephew, you know, they're serving life because they don't have their loved one anymore. Andre. He's gone forever. So I can't say that I feel sorry for Tim at all, but my heart definitely goes out to the family of Andre Montgomery, and definitely my heart goes out to Miss Robbie. And it's sad because I feel, again, she and her son, there's some hold there where she just can't let him go, because the fact that she pled for leniency, I couldn't even fathom that. You know, yeah, go to the court, show up, tell your son you love him, you screwed up, you made some very bad decisions, and this is a fate that you have, but to say that he deserves leniency, I just didn't understand that at all. So I really just wanted to talk about that, guys, and get your thoughts on it. But yeah, Tim's going to be serving life, and so is Robbie. And I don't know how much more of it she has here. Of course, she's a woman of a certain age. But the fact that he chose to go this route so that he could collect on insurance benefits, so that he could pay off the IRS, was it really worth it? Like, oh my God. The IRS, they take payment plans all the time. All the time. All of the time. Most people, especially if you owe an amount such as an amount, I'm not sure what the amount was at this moment, but an amount such as that, they're definitely going to take payment plans. They don't care about the payments as long as they know that you're not running from what you owe. They'll work with you. But he had to go this route to pay off the government when they don't even do the right thing most of the time. And you're going to go this route. Like, it just was not worth it, guy. I'm just like, wow. But I just wanted to talk about this and get your thoughts, so you can let me know yours in the comment section below. Thank you so much for liking this commentary if you are on YouTube. Thank you so much for subscribing to the platforms. And guys, I'm Beth, and I'm just being beautifully honest. So until the next time, I just wanted to keep it brief, beautiful, and now I'm going to say bye.